What's up, guys? Welcome to Bonus's Domain. Today, I'm going to be doing a list that I thought would be interesting and fun to do, specifically for my enjoyment and fandom, over Godzilla, the Bandai Movie Monster series, and today I thought I'd go over a top 15 movie monster figures that I would like to see in the series. Anytime in the future, but specifically this year. Figures I'd like to see this year from the line. Because the sooner the better we get any of the guys or girls on this list. Let's get into it. Starting off in number 1 and number 2, I'm just going to pair them together, but they do count separately. It's two different guys. That is Sanda and Gaira. Like, what can I say? Two classic Toho Kaiju from the Showa era, from the War of the Gargantuas. Would look great with the rest of the movie monster guys. Just well overdue. We've had other toy companies do these guys, but I'd really like to see Bandai take a crack at them. I mean, they know that they exist. There's no reason to not do them. I'd love to see them. Number 3, Frankenstein. I would love to see that. That kind of goes hand in hand with 1 and 2. I mean, I don't know if there's some kind of, like, rights restrictions, issues, or something like that for Toho to actually be able to use the Frankenstein name. I'm not really sure. I mean, I don't really think so, but I definitely would like to see this guy. I mean, again, he would look awesome next to the Baragon movie monster that we got in, 2023, and would look awesome next to his War of the Gargantua's brethren. So that would just be really, really cool. Classic Toho monster mixed in with a little bit of a classic Gothic influence there. So it would be history in the making. Bandai would place a beautiful little Frankenstein figure right in my hand. Next up, we got King Kong from '67. I know that there was a Bandai King Kong made from the '63 film, hell as ago, back in the '90s, and that's kind of the more shiny plastic Godzilla collection Bandai figures that they were making back then in the '90s. It could definitely fit into your collection now, but it's going to cost you a pretty penny, and he also has a very different appearance from the '67 King Kong, so I'm going to go with the '67 King Kong, because also in my silly, misunderstood logic of the copyright in regards to Toho King Kong, maybe it'll be cheaper? I don't know. I mean, then, the '63 King Kong appearance, but I don't know. Maybe they're just the same. This is a long shot, because I know that King Kong is a hefty license, and Toho always has seemed to kind of veer away from using the Toho King Kong's likeness in a lot of merchandise. I imagine it's very expensive. That's always seemed to be kind of the reasoning, but it would be great to have a '67 King Kong. Also because of my number 5 option, Mechanicong, Mecha Kong. Again, this figure came out in the '90s and was kind of the more shiny plastic Godzilla collection Bandai mold. It doesn't really have that kind of more matte look, so it might stick out a little bit in your collection. And also, just like the '63 King Kong that came out in the '90s from Bandai, the '90s Mecha Kong is so fucking expensive. So expensive. It would be great for a new movie monster series, Mechanicong. We've got so many movie monster series Mecha Godzillas. It would be awesome to put a Mechanicong right next to Mecha Godzilla. Kind of maybe have them, team up on your shelf or whatever. However you want to do it, it would be awesome to have that. Next up on the list, we got Rodan from his original 1956 appearance in his or her standalone film. I actually don't remember if the original Rodan is a female or not, and I also know that there's another Rodan that comes in at the end, so I can't remember their gender, but it's Rodan from '56. I know that Playmates has, I believe, a '56 Rodan, and it's not bad. It's whatever. But I'd really like to see Bandai take a crack at it. And there's, of course, been other movie monster iterations and Godzilla collection iterations, memorial box set iterations of Rodan. There's tons of Rodan figures, but really a nice new '56 mold would be very, very cool. I really like the original appearance of Rodan in their original film, and because I just think they look so cool. I mean, I don't know. I like a lot of the other appearances of Rodan, like from the Heisei era and later in the Showa era, facing off against Ghidorah and stuff like that. But I don't know. I just really like the original appeal of Rodan's design from their first appearance. Also, you could totally put a Mega Nulon in there, size it down or something. we've had many movie monster series figures come with like little accessories or whatever, or size down to not be like you know, to not make the figure, I guess, like too much or whatever. They didn't want to put too much, you know, stake into like a little accessory. But a Mega Nulon accessory would be very, very cool, because that is also another little Toho creature that does not ever get any kind of exposure. So a Rodan 56 figure would really scratch that itch for a lot of people, including myself, and a little Mega Nulon accessory would be perfect. Would be awesome. So for 7, 8, 9, it's going to be the trio of Space Amoeba. All right? It's going to be Gezora, Ganames, and Komibas. All these guys are awesome. Just super cool. They don't nearly get as much exposure or love from Toho as they should. Space Amoeba is such a cool monster mash, awesome kaiju action, and I think Ganames is probably cooler than Ebirah. I love Ebirah. I think Ebirah is very cool, especially in Final Wars. But Ganames is like this hairy, you know, crab, lobster thing, whatever you want to call it, and it also gives me like a hint of moth going in there. I don't know, like I see Ganames and I'm like, man, this creature just looks so fucking crazy. So a movie monster figure would definitely give them the exposure that I think that they deserve, but also give me the ability to take all three of them, those beautiful little guys, and put them on my shelf where they belong. Next up, we've got Mulgera from 57. This figure hasn't had like an official like Bandai 6, 7, 8-inch figure since like the 90s, I think, or the late 80s, but I think it was 90s. And again, it's more shiny kind of plastic that Bandai was doing with a lot of their Godzilla figures. And God, what a cool design. What an awesome design from the Mysterions. And it doesn't get utilized nearly as much as the Heisei Mulgera appearance, which I like that. I like that a lot. It's very, very cool. It's very awesome. And I have a couple of little Heisei Mulgera figurines hanging around my collection. I think this design deserves some love, and I'd love to see it in figure form. Movie Monster Series. Because again, that 90s Bandai Mulgera figure, expensive. You don't believe me? Check the prices. They're also kind of hard to find, at least from what I've been able to tell, in the States, where I am currently at, unfortunately. Next up, we got Dogora. It's like an okay Toho movie, but a very cool creature design. Dogora kind of playing more as a force of nature to be reckoned with, rather than like a city-stomping, train-derailing, government-smashing monster, you know, that you would see like Godzilla or, you know, King Kong, whatever. Doesn't have a whole lot of merch either, and when you can find some Dogora merch, it's pretty expensive, so I would just like to see this guy get some love. I don't know how they would do it. I don't know the size, what size they would have him be, because, you know, it could be like this, it could be like really small. Are they going to make him stand like other past figures, you know, have done? You know, like with the tentacles kind of like coming upward, or, you know, is there going to be some kind of pole stand where you can have it kind of floating? I think that would be pretty cool, but I don't know. I really don't know how they would do that in the Movie Monster series, because they would probably try to have an iteration of the figure look more realistic, less stylized than a lot of past versions of the Dogora figure have been. So that would be bonkers. I mean, seriously, just imagine Dogora getting announced tomorrow by Bandai. Like, oh yeah, Movie Monster series Dogora. That'd be crazy. But I would love it, and I'd be smiling. Next up, we've got the majorly underappreciated Gorath Walrus. The suit definitely got more love being used on Ultra Q, and actually has quite a bit of merch from being used in Ultra Q that way, but not a whole lot of merch from Toho, as far as I know. I mean, I definitely have not seen, like, it doesn't have a Godzilla collection figure from the 90s, it doesn't have a Movie Monsters series figure, and, you know, it's a cool space walrus, man. Like, I don't know why we can't have something like that. I know it's kind of like maybe a sore spot to some people in its particular movie, but then again, even if you don't like the movie, you could at least use it in an Ultraman collection or something, you know? Ultra Q collection. It's just a cool little guy. I'd like to see him. Next up, I thought this would be pretty cool. Throw some Heisei love out there. Space Godzilla Flying Form would be an awesome Movie Monster series figure, in my opinion. They've been doing a lot of flying forms lately, like with Destroya and Mecha Godzilla. So I'd really like to see how they would do that. I mean, it would have so much sculpting going on, and there'd be so much detail. It'd have to be one of those like more jumbo-sized Movie Monster figures that they've been doing lately. You know, like the kind of more pricier Bandai figures. You know, it'd have to be bigger. You know, probably just because of the sculpt alone. The sculpting is probably going to be expensive, and yeah, I don't expect them to make it like full size because that's insane. That's insane. That would have to be like a huge space set aside for your collection. That would just be so cool. I mean, it's such an underutilized form for Space Godzilla in terms of merch being made for the character. I just think it'd be so cool to have a movie monster version of the flying Space Godzilla form. I mean, again, I understand why it probably hasn't been utilized a whole lot because it'd probably be very costly with all the crystals and all the sculpting you probably have to do, but I just think it'd be awesome, and I'd love to see it. Next up on the list, some more Heisei characters. Godzilla Jr. We haven't had a figure of this guy since the 90s, and he usually, you know, goes for about like 50, $60. And again, the shinier plastic, it won't meld as well with the more matte finish of some of the movie monster figures, some of the Playmates figures that a lot of people might have in the collection. And then finally, number 15, Godzillasaurus. Shinier plastic 90s Godzilla collection. Figure was made, but that's also a $50, $60 figure. Maybe won't blend as well with your other current line movie monster figures. So I think that would be really, really cool. I know that we just got that Ichiban like kind of statue figurine from Bandai Namco with the little door rats. I think that is very cool. It's not really a toy though. It's definitely not a movie monster series figure. So I merely wanted to point out that Godzillasaurus is getting some love, but there could definitely be some more. There could definitely be some more Godzillasaurus figures out there. The movie monster series is a great way to do that. Get that boy some exposure. Yeah, hope you enjoyed the list. If I messed up a year or something like that a movie came out or the name of a certain character, my bad. Trying my best out here with all these crazy ass names, but hope you enjoyed the list. Let me know down below what Toho or Daiei. I didn't touch on a whole lot of Daiei characters. Let me know any Toho, Daiei, Toei even, movie monster series figures that you think would be really, really cool for Bandai to touch on this year or in the future. Let me know your favorite from my list. Let me know down below. Comment if you'd like me to make another one of these lists. I'm sure I could. I have tons of characters up here swimming around that I think would be cool, but I kind of just wanted to make a top 15. Didn't want this video to be too long. It kind of already looks like it is. But hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff if you like doing it. If you feel like doing that, that's great. And Devonius, out.